Hello dear friends, today I am planning to do a short session how to check your blood pressure levels at your home itself using an automated machine. So today we have got a doctor with us who would explain how we can do it, how we can properly use a machine to measure your blood pressure at home rather than visiting a doctor frequently. You can do it yourself very easily at home if you know all these techniques, and you can listen to the session very carefully and closely and learn how to do it properly at your home.
Hello guys, so today I'll be demonstrating how to measure BP using a automatic sphygmomanometer. So this is a BP machine which is automatic from we'll be using this to measure our BP. You can actually do it at home on a regular basis, especially if you are hypertensive. So as you can see here, this is the monitor and I have the parts here. So this is the rubber tubing, or sometimes you can get it in PVC too. So you attach it to the side of the monitor, and this is the BP cuff. It is also known as the Riva-Rossi cuff after the founder Riva-Rossi in 1896. You have velcro here, and you can actually change the size according to the size of the patient's arm. You can actually adjust it. So now I'll be showing you guys on how to measure the BP. So we have our patient right here. So you have to bring up the clothes. Never take BP on top of the clothes because it is not going to be accurate. Now you are supposed to slide the cuff up, and as you can see here, this rubber tubing here, it needs to be down. It needs to be facing the palm of the patient. So you insert it through the hand of the patient. So make sure the cuff is snugly fit, not too tight and not too loose, and it should be almost 2 fingers width from the elbow, and you can insert a finger to see whether it is tight or not. After that, you can take the BP machine, and you have the start and stop button here. So the patient has to hold the arm perpendicularly in a 90-degree angle for accurate readings. So now let's start the machine. So this is actually previous reading. So the machine starts at 0 and goes up to a certain point. Up to that point you have to wait, and it automatically stops and displays the reading on the monitor. Here you can see the systolic BP, and here you can see the diastolic BP. All are displayed in the unit of mercury mm per Hg, and here you can see the pulse per minute. So as you can see here, the normal systolic blood pressure is 120 and the diastolic BP is 80. So this is a normal value. So the normal range for systolic is 110 to 130, and for diastolic is 70 to 90. So if the BP is above 140 by 90, it means that the person is hypertensive. First you say the systolic, and then you say about the diastolic. So if the blood pressure is below 100 by 60 or something, then the person is hypotensive. So here you can actually save the readings. on the machine itself, and you can actually see the time on which it was taken. You also have BP machines which are made of mercury, and new laser machines. So but usually in clinical settings you have mercury machines, but at home and for your convenience it is always easier to have an automatic machine. So if you ask me which side of the hand is preferable for taking the blood pressure, I will say that it is the right side, because in the right side the blood vessel directly comes from the heart, that is the arch of aorta. So you will be able to get a better and accurate readings. You can also take the BP on the legs as well, on the thigh, and sometimes even the ankle. And first the patient can be in a sitting position or a lying down position or even a standing up position, but a standing up position is not usually preferred unless we are measuring for postural hypertension. So postural hypertension is your blood pressure changes according to your posture. So usually we do it lying down or in sitting position according to the mobility of the patient. So the bladder of the cuff should be on the medial side. Usually a cuff is of 28 centimeters. So the patient's hand and the cuff and the heart should be in the same plane, so that you get accurate readings. But this is only applicable for mercury machines and not needed for automatic machines. So that's why in a doctor's office they ask you to place your arm in a perpendicular position on top of a table, so that your hand, the cuff and the heart are in the same plane. So there are two methods, one is palpatory method and one is auscultatory method. So palpatory method is when you use the pulse to check the BP. So you hold 3 fingers over the radial artery and you measure the pulse, and at the same time you take the BP cuff and you measure, you keep increasing the pressure on the BP cuff, and then you can observe. And this is only for systolic method. You can measure BP by the palpatory or auscultatory method by the mercury machine. For palpatory method you use the pulse. You use your 3 fingers and measure the pulse, and at the same time you measure the BP. This is only applicable for systolic blood pressure. For diastolic blood pressure you do it by the auscultatory method. You take a stethoscope and you keep the stethoscope on the brachial artery in the elbow and you listen to the sound, and by that you will be able to measure the BP. For more such videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.